Today's the day. Got up early, just gonna get some more stuff organized. And that way we can head right out as soon as we're done with work today. This is what I love to do. I think like 2,000 miles, 33 hours or so of drive time. Definitely gonna take a couple days, but we'll get there. Let's do it. This is what I think about all year round. This is what I prepare for. Making this big drive this time just by myself. Mule deer tag in Idaho. And going in solo for 13 days. Definitely will be my longest time, but I feel like I'm prepared. I'm just really looking forward to it. I just love hunting in the West. All right, one more big push. All right, so here's the deal. The unit that I'm hunting is having a huge problem with wildfires right now. Fire's growing every day. It's really messing up a lot of my plans, my backup plans. So not only is it cutting off all my access to some of my hunt plans, but also some of those areas I wanted to hunt are just straight up on fire now. So the plan I'm kind of left with is park outside of the unit and hike in about 6 or 7 miles, climbing a couple thousand feet, just to get into my unit, into this wilderness area to start hunting. Makes it even tougher when this is just a general tag in Idaho. I've never been here before. I don't know anything about it outside of the research that I've done. So it's definitely gonna make it a challenge. The next few days were fun. We're here. But not very eventful. I hiked a lot. I glassed a lot. The area just did not hold deer like I hoped it would. But overall, the feed's not what I think it needs to be to hold deer up there. And after glassing up only some does, I was starting to get worried. But really, that's when things started to go from bad to worse. Well, I came up here to glass for the night, and as you can see behind me, but the fire's that way, and it's a lot thicker that way. The smoke's really rolling in now, and not sure what to do. I mean, I'm not too concerned that the fire's gonna come up here while I'm here, but I don't know how much the smoke is good for you. It's the not knowing. It's the not having all the information right at your fingertips, like we're so used to. That's weighing on my mind. Well, with glassing out tonight anyway, I figured I'd just get back to camp, and I'm sure glassing will be out in the morning as well. I don't know. Kind of sucks. You know, one thing I say every day religiously is the serenity prayer. And that's, please God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can and the wisdom to know the difference. I really try to lean into that second one as much as I can, but I think this is a time where it's that third one, and where I'm gonna have to really think about, and because it could possibly be now the first one, because there's not a whole lot I can do here. I didn't have a lot of options at this point. Like, my hunt unit was already choked down to this small area because of these fires. But believe me, if I had a backup option, I would have been packing out of there and trying somewhere else to find deer. But this was the only area I had left. It's just one of those hunts where it feels like everything's against you. So now it's the day before season. I decide to pack out, grab my bow, grab more food, and get back up to get ready to hunt the next day. But since I knew I'd be coming back, I left my camp up on the mountain. So then I packed down all the way to the truck, and I can't believe what I saw. All trails are closed because of the fire. They don't map the whole area, and it looks like it's even more than my whole unit. And yeah, I got my camp still cached up on top of the mountain, about 6 miles in, a couple thousand feet of gain. I've already done, like, I don't know, I've hiked since it's 4 o'clock. It's since 7 a.m. I never stopped. Wanted to go on a good solo hunt, test myself, try to get it done. Came a long way to get here. Not just the miles in the truck. All right, time to go. So by the time I got back up on the mountain, it was already so late. I decided to spend the night. It was a long day. 21.4 miles. Over 200 floors climbed. I woke up in all the smoke, packed everything up, hiked back down to the truck, and at this point, I have no idea what I'm gonna do. It's supposed to be just all mountains right there. All right, here's the deal. I've called every Forest Service in the area. I've talked to Fish and Game. Turns out this smoke and these fires have caused Forest Service to close down all these areas, and things aren't looking like they're trending in the right direction either. I was talking to the one ranger, and he said, you know, they'll probably be fighting these for a while. It's gonna get even hotter. So I don't like the idea of hanging out here for a few days, hoping things get better. I don't think that's worth it. Fish and Game said, yeah, they've been getting a bunch of calls. They're looking to maybe issue out some refunds. Exchanging tags is apparently an option, and it would have been for me in my unit, but since the season started today, I can't get a tag. Okay, what a wild past 24 hours. So looking around, trying to figure out what to do, keeping a positive mindset, refusing to just quit and go home. Actually reached out to some guys that I knew were hunting high country mule deer in Colorado, trying to figure out when they were coming in and see if I could get the schedules to line up. And yeah, we got to talking. They're gonna be getting in this afternoon. It turns out it's also an over-the-counter archery elk unit. So I spent the night in town, got my stuff all reorganized, just pulled out of Walmart down here, and we're back in the game. We're gonna be back up in the mountains for 7 nights, Saturday to Saturday. So super pumped, got a tag in my pocket. I'm gonna get the bow out in the mountains finally. You just gotta control what you can control and just keep moving forward. So super pumped. Can't wait to get to camp with these guys. I told them I'm gonna be camp MVP. Like, I'm just so thankful to be there and everything, and yeah, just super stoked. So Here we go, back in the game. So yeah, pretty much just pulled right into the trailhead, met the guys. It was Dan, Murph, and Sodi. Shook hands, shot the bow, and away we went. The hunt was back on. All right, it's day before season. We packed in last night as high as we could, just dropped camp, and now we're doing some morning glassing. And right at 6:30, right after gray light, we had, I don't know, 8 or 9 bucks come out in this basin and a few does. It's been a great start to the first morning here, day before season. It's only been light out for 30 minutes, so feeling pretty good. We're up here doing it. All right, I was glassing with Murph way up above camp, right around 12:05, and I said, hey, for a couple hours, I'm gonna keep climbing, drop down in this other basin, and see what I can see. A little bit of rain rolled in, but as soon as it cleared up, it was kind of like 2 herds of elk came in at the same, or one right after the other, mostly cows and calves. There's a bigger, looks like 4x4, maybe 5x4, with a 4x3, and it's been fun to watch. He's kind of like pushing him off all the cows, so it's really cool. This is just an over-the-counter elk unit, and had to climb up over hell to get over here, but we got elk up in the high country spotted day before the season. Doesn't get much better than this. So I remember after I glassed those elk, I linked back up with Murph. We spent the evening glassing. We saw some more deer, some sheep, some bear. Safe to say we were excited for opening morning. So I woke up early that next day, packed up into that other basin, got there to glass at first light, and I was immediately on action. I can't believe it. I was glassing out in the basin. That herd of elk must have came up around me somehow. I don't know how I missed them. They must have been bedded right below me. They were right behind me. I heard all their footsteps, but I think I'm gonna be okay. I did spook them out. They're going way up higher in this basin. They can't go anywhere. So I'm just gonna watch where they go and then try to go up around them. He's bugling right now. I gotta figure out how to make a play. He's right back there in that green at 114 yards. I don't really have any more of a play here. Yeah, I couldn't even get sub 100. It's just, I'm up in the cliffs and the rocks. I was right there in those cliffs. And that bull was right up there. As soon as I picked up my bow, I mean, they all stampeded out of there. I put a nice little stalk on. They weren't boogered once they got back there. But I got cliffed out. The bull was out front, feeding by himself. And I put the range up, 114. So I tried to circle them again, but they went down the draw. They went closer to camp though, which is good. It's opening morning, about all week. We'll get them. That herd elk came all the way down here. We're actually now down by camp. It seems like they went down just like in the timber here. So got back to camp, got some water, got reset. I'm just gonna still hunt through this timber now. And I'm just gonna lay out some cow calls, just still hunt real quiet and try to be that lost calf cow. And maybe we'll get that bull to turn around and come looking. So that's the plan for the rest of the day. We're just gonna still hunt through the timber and we'll see if we can get back on them. After no luck getting back on that herd, I decided to help the other guys in camp the next morning. We spotted a decent buck and helped flag Sodi in to stalk it. You didn't see him bed down, did you?
No. I mean, he's in the trees there, but the one big tree on the right side. Just can't. It's like, if you were standing at with that big rock right there.
Good luck, man. Did you get back on him? Unfortunately, we lost him in the timber. At this point, we all decided to move spots. Them guys were going to go chase deer on this other strip of mountains, and we all glassed up some elk way far out on this other face. So I elected to go spike up out there solo. Okay, shifted plans. The group decided to relocate after Sodi couldn't find that buck on the stalk this morning. We thought it'd be best to go to this different mountain range where we were glassing a lot of deer and elk. Unfortunately, the elk and deer were not really in the same area. So I just told the guys, hey, I'll just go up here and spike out. There are gonna be a few basins over, but I think this is the best way for me to put myself in a position to arrow an elk. So making the climb up here by myself and gonna spend the rest of the week solo and God hoping put an arrow in something. Pretty sure there's gonna be elk in this basin I'm trying to get to before last light. I set up camp on this shelf down below, but there is no water on this side of the mountain at all. So I only have like 8 ounces left in my Nalgene. That's all I have for tonight and tomorrow. So I think I want to just get up here and get a game plan for what I can do. I think there's access from the backside of this mountain. Come up from that way, and I'm pretty sure looks like there should be water on that side. So that might be the plan. I am packing up from this spot. Found on this side of the mountain there's absolutely no water anywhere. And I've been out of water, which kind of sucks. I'm gonna go to the other side of this mountain. Looks like there might be some water for me. The pack in actually might not be as far. It's gonna be steep, but I think I can do it. Pack in like 5 liters, I think I can carry. And that'll get me through, a day or so. And maybe every other day, I'll just pack down and do that. That at least gives me a fighting chance to get on some of these elk, and that's really all I got at this point. So that's the plan. I'm gonna try to get out of here quick. Hiking up to this basin now. Camp set up, good to go. Gonna go push, see what I can see. Of course, right now, boom, we got some rain, got some hail. I'm in this timber. I'm pretty sure I got elk in the timber down here, and what I'm doing right now is trying to hunt a little smarter than harder. I'm kind of above them right now, so I need to let this rain totally quit, the sun come out, heat everything up. I got a bugle right now. Heat everything up for those thermals to switch, and then I'll make my way over there. So it's exciting. Like, we're on bugles. I haven't seen any other hunters. OTC public land. I mean, come on. Okay, this rain quit. As soon as it quit, I got an elk. He just bugled like 4 times. There might actually be a couple elk. It looks like they're in that basin, but they're down towards the bottom, which is good. I'm above them. So, all right, here we go. I'm just gonna climb over there. All right, I got a big herd of elk right below me, 250 yards. I gotta sneak down this other drainage and maybe come in from the side. That's the plan. I'm gonna switch to the GoPro. And they're just feeding, they're relaxed. I got good wind. So I'm just gonna be real smart and methodical about this stalk. And here we go. I am officially the world's worst elk stalker. That wind was so touch and go with this overcast, getting across all these little micro draws. And sure enough, there's more elk directly below me I didn't even know about. And I saw all of them blow first. And then they blew out everybody else that was in the basin the little draw I was trying to get to. So I just watched probably like 3 dozen elk just run out of my life. I spent the rest of the evening trying to chase down that herd. Had some cows at 80. days I just gotta fling an arrow at something. But ultimately had no luck. I got back to camp that night, and by my own mistake, I was in for a rough night. All right, good morning. It's about 5:30, and last night was a little uncomfortable. I came back last night after all the rain, and I had my vestibule open. So I got a bunch of water, came down in here, had a nice little puddle in the tent. Sleeping bag got wet, pad got wet. So I tried to clean up everything best I could last night. What I ended up doing is actually using my emergency blanket, kind of wrap myself first, and then got in the bag. I figured that would keep any moisture off me and help insulate some heat. And then what I also did was I have this contractor bag, and it kind of almost acted like how you lay down a sheet of Tyvek as a floor for your tent. So that separated any dampness on the tub of the tent and me. Yeah, that sucked. The plan today, we're gonna hike down in Glass back the morning to where I saw them elk feeding. I think there's more elk here than just that herd. So we'll see if that's a hot spot, and that'll be a good area for me to make a play. If that's the case. And then also, I can't really go and get above everything right now with the thermals going down till the sun comes out. So I think my plan is, sit back, Glass. If I see something, go make a play. If not, wait for all them thermals to start rising. Then I'm gonna go make my way to that basin where I saw them elk. These bulls are bugling like crazy. I know getting one out would be a nightmare, but I'm gonna have to figure it out because I'm punching this tag. I don't care. So I'm looking down in this basin where I know all of them elk are, and I'm looking at least a dozen cows and calves. I haven't seen any bulls yet. This is where they're all bugling last night. And dude, this is just some steep, nasty. It's 400 yards to the bottom, and it's roughly 1,200 feet in elevation change. So that's like a 1-to-1. I don't know. Getting elk out of there, man, just by yourself, just from there to here, is multiple day. I can't even imagine. And then 2 more drops over, and then up to the trail, probably 800 feet, and then the 3 or so miles down on trail of like 4,000 feet, maybe 3,000. Dude, I don't I don't know. I'm worried enough just trying to kill one up here. If you gotta do it, you gotta do it. So I'm up at the head of this basin, and it just is so elky. It reeks of elk. There's sign everywhere, and I just can't believe I can't pick anything out up here bedded or just up on its feet. And it looks like elk spend time up here. I just can't believe I'm not picking anything up. I got good wind. They got more thermals, so I'm just poking around up here, silently still hunting, and just hoping to catch something. I worked all the way down through this basin, and all of a sudden everything just opened up. I just took a second, and I had all these elk everywhere, bulls bugling down in this creek bottom. I'm in this beautiful basin, and like, I just look up for a second, and I'm just like, thank God. I just took that moment of presence, and it was just incredible. So I get to the edge of this timber line, and I had all these elk out in front of me, and it's wide open. So I pulled my rangefinder out, and I had 69 yards. So I put my bow up, settled the pin on this perfect quartering away shot. Shot broke. And well, down in the bottom of this hole, bunch of elk right here. And there was bulls bugling way down in the bottom, but I had a row of cows and calves in front of me. And I was like, hey, you said you'd shoot a cow. She was quartering away, 69 yards, and I got a beautiful cow laying over there. So, gosh, I'm telling you, she didn't go 20 yards. And God, this is crazy. I'm way back in by myself. I just blew stock after stock, and I'm going home with some elk meat. Oh man. First archery elk. I mean, I don't know what to say. I'm way out here, deep on public land, solo, OTC, DIY, public land, archery elk. It's just been like a lot the last like 2 weeks with, I mean, man, this time last week I was in Idaho and I had already scouted for 4 days, and I found out my unit shut down for my mule deer hunt. And you know, now all of a sudden I'm in Colorado over the counter archery elk hunting. I mean, it's funny how life works. I just wanted to stay positive. I could have easily chalked up that trip as a fail and did whatever with the vacation I had from work. But I was like, no, I don't feel fulfilled. I feel like I can do more, I can give more, I'm not coming home. And you know, I got here, I definitely wasn't an expert at this, and I spent all day, I waited for good wind. You just gotta be patient. I waited for these thermals. I got good blue skies today, and I got upwind the whole day. I worked all around this basin. I knew there were elk down in here. I glassed them from last night from right there. And I just, ever so slowly, just checking wind, coming down. Earlier in the week I said, you know, I say that serenity prayer every day and religiously, and I was doing it out here. I think God really helped me on this one. I just kept pushing, kept seeking, and kept controlling what I could control. I couldn't control those wildfires and that smoke and my unit shutting down, but I could control how I reacted and how I kept seeking some opportunity to fulfill myself as a backcountry hunter. And oh man, I know it seems like I'm acting like I got a big 350-inch bull here, but like the amount of stress and just everything in this journey as a hunter has just been so much, and I don't know, I'm just so thankful, man. So just couldn't be happier. Thank you. Thank you. I was so thankful. This was my first elk on my first archery elk hunt. I was so stoked just to take a cow, and couldn't believe how it all worked out. All right, didn't get back to camp till like after midnight last night. That was a chore. I'm right by this creek, so it's gonna stay nice and cool. Ate a bunch of food, got a little bit of sleep, and then this morning got up, got camp, and I got a smaller meat bag in there and the bow. Gonna bomb down to the truck with all that. I just got word that it sounds like I'm not getting any help. That does kind of suck, but we're just gonna add basically an extra day. So it's gonna be a little bit more time, a little bit more effort, a little bit more pain, but not gonna let that stop me. Here we go. So we're like living in a fridge down here. Can't ask for much more than that. So I got one meat bag in the cooler down at the truck. I'm on my way to get bag number 2. And I still have to do this whole trip again to get bag number 3. Shout out Celsius, 200 milligram caffeine. Probably couldn't do it without you. It's gonna take a long time. It's gonna hurt, but that's okay. Just keep going. Playing that over and over and over. Doing a little bit better than I thought. It only took me a little over an hour to get out of that hole. And then I think I can bushwhack here down and then bushwhack up a little bit to catch the trail. Still probably got another hour or two for that. And then once I get there, I'm bombing down to the truck, maybe another hour or two for that. So we're moving. Almost at the truck. About 7 hours round trip. Did it once. Do it again. One more load. Good morning. Slept down here at the truck. Got up early. Gonna make some coffee, eat some food, and go back up there and grab the last bag of meat. And then we'll be done. Can't wait to take a shower. Man, I'm so smoked. A couple more hours. Just tell myself it's you versus you. It's you versus you. Just got to the truck. Last load of meat. Ice down. That was tough. And it's always the toughest right at the end too. And it was, but just kept trucking. And that's it. Gonna go meet them guys I was deer hunting with in town. Get a bite. I'm gonna get some dry ice stuff, get that all froze, and that's it. Peace.